Hello, it's Rachel from Central Texas Zone 8B, and I have a gigantic mess on the side of my house, as you can see. I have this lovely Graham Thomas climbing rose that has, the trellis keeps getting blown over anytime my lawn guys come, and I don't know why, because it spent years not doing that, and then all of a sudden it just started getting knocked over. So I've just left it for the past, several months blown over because I was going to move it anyhow and I got tired fixing it. So the side of my yard has been kind of a bit of a mess. I have a ton of milkweed in here. I got the little native Texas chili pepper here, which is really cute. I love that. This fragrant mist flower has been a star performer. It has pollinators all over it. Usually I'll have to put in insert a little video of how active they are. So I'm going to be transplanting this climbing rose because it used to get enough sun, and then trees have grown and things, and it just gets a lot less sun than it used to. So I'm going to cut it back, and I'll be digging it up tomorrow morning, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it back today just to see where I'm at with this. And then tomorrow I'll be showing you my usual, transplanting process. Roses are super easy to transplant in my experience. I have the least amount of worry about transplanting those. Unlike other things that I tend to kill when I transplant. So yeah, I'm just going to start, I'm going to cut it back and try to get the trellis out of there because the plant's all wound up in the trellis. You probably can't even really see. And then I may have to cut back a little bit of this mist flower, which is grown into the pathway. Even my husband's like, hey, you need to cut this back. But I didn't want to because there was flowers all over it. However, the flowers have kind of fizzled out on the end, so I probably will cut it back. So my lawn guys can get through here, and my husband can get through here, and all that jazz. But anyhow, let me go ahead and get started cutting this back. And then in the morning, or it'll be the same video, but in the morning, I will show you how I transplant. It's pretty simple. Okay, so as you can see, I've just got canes everywhere. I will go ahead and cut back some of this mist flower just so I can see. There's still blooms at the base, so I'm not as worried about that. That helps a lot, actually. And there is a lot of milkweed around the base of this plant, and just FYI, milkweed is irritating to the skin, the sap, if you get it on you. So just, wear gloves, which I'm not doing if you're worried about that. I find I've never found it irritating my skin, but I usually don't smear it all over my skin too, so there is that. But yeah, anyhow. And one thing to note is I will be, as I've talked about before, we're going to be redoing our house, so I will be redoing a lot of, that made it so much easier. I will be redoing a lot of this garden bed on the side, transplanting things slowly over the next couple years. And yeah, so it's kind of a little bit neglected in the first place because of that, because I don't really want to do anything to it when it's just going to get destroyed anyhow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try to cut back quite a bit of this rose. We'll do angled cuts. I'm not a master at this by any means, and I found that transplanting or rose care or rose pruning can be quite polarizing. Everybody has different opinions. So I'm just going to do what works for me, or what I think maybe works for me, because I'm not entirely sure what works for me yet, and I probably will change my ways as I get older and learn more about gardening. But so far, this is what I'm doing. Look at this beautiful hip. I don't know if y'all can see this on the camera. These don't stay on all winter, but they're really gorgeous for a while. Really love those. And a Graham Thomas rose has the most beautiful yellow blooms, just super, super gorgeous. has been one of my favorite favorite roses that I have. It is, I think it's like a repeat bloomer. It blooms like about twice a year. It's definitely not one of those ones that blooms all the time, which is what I think I prefer, honestly. Like I just like that better. Some people think summer roses are worth waiting for, and you know, I'm sure that's true in some circumstances, but for the most part, for me, I really like constant gratification on my blooms. And I think a lot of people are like that, but who knows? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm alone in that. But it just seems like they're coming out with a lot of continual blooming varieties. Okay, so this is milkweed right here, and I've got some growing around the base. This is another variety of milkweed that's not native, and this one spreads around quite a bit. And yeah, I kind of wish I hadn't planted it, but that was before I really knew what I was doing in gardening in my earlier years. And I mean, not that I really know what I'm doing now anyhow, but oh well. I'm going to see if I can grab hold of the trellis and pull it up that way, because everything's really tangled in there and I can't really see what I'm doing. So nope, stuck fast. Let's see here. Yeah. This is the rose itself. I need to cut it back quite a bit more because it's still pretty tall. So I'm just going to make some little snips. I'm going to try to go above joints. Maybe there's an official term for them, but I'm going to call them joints, where other buds are coming out. And if you can't really see what I'm doing, I apologize. It's really going to be really hard to get the camera in here at a good angle. I think when it comes time to transplant tomorrow morning, or in a few seconds in this video, or a few minutes in this video, it will be very easy to transplant this. I got a good amount of space here to dig it up. So I don't think that'll be a problem. So I will see you in a couple seconds tomorrow morning. Okay, so it's the next morning. I've filled up this bucket with some water. I might need to add a little bit more, but I'm gonna add some Super Thrive. I've used this before when transplanting roses. It works really well. It's been around for a really long time. I'm sure most of you've heard about it. Let's see how much supposed to add. So 1.5 teaspoons per 5 gallons. That's very little bit. So it says it needs a very little bit in here. I'm only gonna do like a capful or two. Let's see here. Okay. So apparently that's all I need. We'll see. Like I said, I've used it before. I really like it. I'll probably keep using it unless I find something better. But right now, this seems to work really well. So now I'm gonna go dig up that rose. Alright, I think I need a different tool than this one because I can't quite get into between the wall and where this rose is at. Mama, get out of there. During the transplant, I did have to cut the roots shorter than I wanted to. I just couldn't fit in that space, so I couldn't get as big of or as far down on the roots as I wanted to. But I don't know, hopefully it survives. So, and here's the property garden. If you're new to the channel, this is a garden I started at my in-laws' house back in the fall of, I guess, 2019. I started it, sort of. I guess some of the stuff needs to be cut back for winter. And then, of course, I have a huge mess of weeds to deal with. I am working on bringing in mulch for winter. So most of that will get recardboarded over, and I will remulch over it and probably pick plants that are better at keeping the weeds down. So yes, anyhow, and it goes all the way out this way. You can see there's a seating area way over there, and there's another garden bed over there. So there's a pathway that swoops around right here, and this one over here. This arch is where I'm going to be planting the Thomas Graham climbing rose. This other climbing rose on this side is Belinda's Dream, Belinda's Dream climbing rose that I transplanted either early last year or the year before. Can't quite remember which. So I'm going to get started digging a hole right on the other side. It'll be really pretty to have the kind of pale orangey yellow with the blush pink flowers kind of mixing together. So yeah, I think that'll be a good spot for it, and I'll get started with that here soon. I also wanted to show you my favorite large rose. This one gets like 8 feet tall and wide, but this is called Maggie. And Maggie is just, the blooms are a little spent, but you can see just such a gorgeous color. Pollinators love her. I don't deadhead her at all, but she's covered in buds, ready to bloom flush again after this one's kind of fading. And yeah, she's my favorite large rose so far. Not to say that I won't ever find another one, but that I like more, but I really love this particular rose. Anyhow, this is Maggie. She's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to plant it right here. Ignore how bad this other bed over here looks. I am going to add more dirt to it to raise the level, and I'm thinking about, I still want to do one more year of like cut flowers and other things. I think I'm going to try to grow some watermelon next year since I have good drip to it now. And then after that, I think I'm going to fill the whole thing pretty much with like some type of beautiful grass, like muhly grass, or I think I say that wrong. Something like some native Texas grass that'll just bloom in fall and look really beautiful. I think my mother-in-law would really like that. So I think I'm going to try to do something like that. So ignore it for now. Okay, so I'm going to take this rose out and see if it fits, if I've dug the hole big enough for the root system. Looks like I have. Might have to do a little bit of tucking, but I think that'll be good. And I'm going to thoroughly saturate this hole. I am going to use this, a little bit of this in here too. And I don't have quite enough soil to refill this hole, so I have some compost here. This soil has so much rocks in it, most of it gets... Okay, so I'll just try to be sure to water this a bunch over the next few days to make sure it takes. Hopefully it takes. Like I said, I did have to cut through quite a bit of the larger roots closer up to the rows than I wanted to. Hopefully it's a tough cookie and it makes it through it though. Like I said, this is a good time of the year to be doing this. So yeah, and I did cut it back quite a bit. Maybe I'll need to cut it back even more. I think this should be okay though. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!